Please tell me about this 6 weeks that you designed. Why did it take 6 weeks?
Well, initially, Project Flitzer started in 1988 as a kind of second string to my bow because I was designing a Tiger Valve pipe at that time. I exhibited the Tiger Valve at Cranfield in 1988 with little parts that I'd made of the Flitzer at the same exhibition. I unfortunately had to sell the engine that was intended for the Tiger Valve. So in order to buy this house engine. So I was then thrown back on the Flitzer as a project. Well, a company approached me wanting to build one of my designs, initially the Tiger Valve as a two-seater. And I said, it's already too complicated as a single-seater. But what I am designing is a thing called a Flitzer, which is a much simpler airplane. Everywhere the Tiger Valve was sophisticated with brakes and adjustable tailplane, mass balance controls, spoilers, semi-symmetrical wing section, etc., etc. The Flitzer was a much simpler airplane, very simple wing section, no brakes, no trim, no frills whatsoever. Big spoke wheels rather than spanning wheels. So it was a different airplane. And it was the antithesis of the Tiger Valve. But this company wanted to build a Tiger Valve so I said, no, let's go with the Flitzer. It's much easier and it's more user-friendly for the PFA because it's got a VW engine and so on. So they said, okay, we'll take the parts you've already made and we'll continue the project. But we want it done quickly. So I designed the thing, effectively all the detail design in 6 weeks flat. And they built the airplane, a lot of it anyway, for exhibition purposes. And afterwards they abandoned it. In fact, they said it's no good, it's never going to work. It's just badly designed, etc., etc. It's not what they wanted. And we were going to dispose of it. So I said, well, you can't do that. It's just too much done already. So they gave me an option of buying it from them, which I did. I then had the airplane back and then completed it myself with a frame. And so that's the basic prototype.
We're talking about the Z1, the prototype.
The Z1, yeah.
The 692.
Yeah, 692. So really, a lot of the drawings were done in a hurry, and I didn't have time to redraw them. So on the plan sets, even though the drawings are acceptable, the later drawings are far better because I improved them. And then on all the later project airplanes that are development types, such as the Z1S and Z1R, the drawings are a much higher standard because I had more time to work on them. So that's the story, really. And the airplane flew perfectly from the start. I was really thrilled with it.
But that's the Z1, the prototype.
Yeah.
But then there's something about the Aeromarine company
yes,
also?
That's right. Aeromarine approached me then wanting to make a kit plane from the Z1. I'd had more time then to develop it, so it had a bigger tailplane than Z21, simply because the test pilots who flew were too heavy to assess the forwards and G situation. So they wanted me to adjust the tailplane incidence, which would ruin the handling of the airplane and brought the top speed right down to about 60 miles an hour, which is ridiculous. So I made a bigger tailplane for it to do what they wanted, which is to produce a proper G-bridge at stall, which it just about did. But it's still got a very benign stall. It tends to mush over the stall. So that's the reason for the bigger tailplane on the Z21. It's 6% bigger and 25% deeper to make it stronger for aerobatics. Sorry, I forgot what I was about.
We talk about Aeromarine.
Oh, Aeromarine was, yes, Bell Aeromarine were making dinghies at the time, and they wanted to venture into aircraft building. So they built the second prototype, which is called the Z21. And that flew beautifully, but the engine was not well installed and it overheated badly. And they asked me to test flight for them on a demonstration, which I did. But the engine overheated so badly that I just made it back to the airfield. When I touched down, the engine quit, and the whole thing thrown its oil out. There was oil everywhere, boiling oil actually. And the owner said, that was great, do you want to fly it again? I said, well, where do you want the suicide rate? Now, do you want to find it in the cockpit? Because it's not safe to fly. But the airframe itself was beautifully made. Subsequently, that's been rebuilt and flown. It's fine. But it's been on its back. It drifted off a hard runway in Rosenbach, Scotland, and the wheels jammed between the concrete and the glass, and it drifted on its back at the very top end, and it came away like that. But that's been a great job.
That's always pilot error, right?
So far, yeah.
Because you gotta get the hang of this thing, right?
Yeah,
You can't fly it once every month.
Yeah, it's the combination of circumstances, really. It's inexperience or bad luck, bad weather, gusting crosswinds and hard runways. They don't go well with a lightly loaded flight plan, because once the wind gets under the wing, it's difficult getting back and roll over. And it's nothing to do with narrow track undercarriage at all. The undercarriage is fine. It's just that you have to land it if you can into wind, or at least not with a very strong crosswind. In a strong crosswind, you need to do a wheel landing, keep the tail up as long as possible. But it's not difficult. In fact, it's got a very high crosswind component. But I don't publish that because people may want to try their luck too far.